Greetings and welcome to In-Depth. I'm Dike Rostant. Persons Associated with Visual Impairment, or PAVI, was established in October 1995. First Vice President and National Awards recipient Bhawani Persad, he joins us now to discuss programs and activities. Greetings, Mr. Persad. How you do, sir?
I am good, thank you. I mean, season, it's not just greetings in our DK, it's season's greetings. We on the home stretch.
And I take that, and because we're so close to December, I think let's start off with what's happening on the 8th of December, please.
No, that's the 3rd of December.
Learn me.
And you know where you get that date from? You must be have the 8th is a Friday, you know. Oh, behave yourself. Anyhow, let me get back to serious business now. Yes, on the 3rd of December, PAVI will be having its big fundraising event, as we always do at this time of the year. Christmas luncheon. It's the fundraising Christmas luncheon. Its theme this year is PAVI through the years. Now, what we have done is that we're going to have a display of, all the history of PAVI since inception to now, tracing the development of the dinner and other activities, in a monologue fashion. And that will be the theme for this year's celebration. Because PAVI, as you quite rightly said, was established in 1995. So it means that we are 28 years and counting. The event will take place on, ideally enough, International Day for Persons with Disability. It starts at 11 a.m. at the Hyatt Regency Hotel, Port of Spain Ballroom. It will feature a number of artists who will be entertaining us. It is under the patronage of former First Lady, Mrs. Zalia Hassan Ali. And the cost of tickets is 450 single, or for a table of 8, you pay a $200 discount. So you do the maths. Now, what we can tell you as well is that lunch will be served from 12 noon to 2 p.m. So we're going to be having some pre-lunch entertainment from a fella you know and I know very well, Raymond Edwards and his team. So that they will be kicking the ball rolling, so to speak, in terms of the entertainment. After lunch, we'll be having other entertainers, people like Marilyn Williams, Lucis Brillantis, and of course, Helter Skelter. We will see saxophone music. We have a variety. Now, the fundraising event also will feature host or co-host Kern Tyson, who is well known to many, and of New Music Radio 97 fame, Celia Scott, who is also well known by many. So you will see that we're blending the blind and the sighted together, all part of team work. Now, in addition, we will be having eye screening. Imagine you're going to a luncheon, DK, and you're getting your eyes tested, and that eye screening is absolutely free, courtesy Unicoma. And also, we'll be having a little raffle, an internal raffle, so that people come with a little extra money to participate in that internal raffle. One of the prizes I can tell you right now is a tablet, and I do not mean the sick tablet or the tablet that gets you well. I mean a real tablet, technology oriented. So you know what I'm talking about. Right? Definitely. And then we have attractive door prizes as well. We will have at least 5 or 6 opportunities for people to win a door prize. And they are very attractive door prizes, I can tell you that. And of course, the ambiance and the meal and all of that lends itself to a great afternoon. And I see for the first time, DK, that TTT and us are not clashing. You know, over the years, we have clashed. Your gathering, which is a big event, and I say hats off to you guys, and PAVI's luncheon. So some people, they leave the luncheon and they come to the gathering. You know, that's to tell you how Trini love festivities. But this time, we're getting away with that. So yours is on the 10th and ours on the 3rd. All funds raised from this and other events will go towards our operations as well as providing training opportunities through adjustment to blindness initiatives. The adjustment to blindness programs are basically if you're losing sight or you have lost sight, you get in touch with the organization. We send an officer to visit you, make an assessment of your situation, your needs. And when I say your needs, I don't mean I need a stove, a fridge, a washing machine. Your needs in terms of rehabilitation, whether you need sighted guide techniques, whether you need to learn to do things around the home, make a cup of coffee, or even cook a full meal, so that if your spouse or other family members go out, you can handle the stories in the kitchen. You know, it's all part of the adjustment. For we believe very strongly, DK, that there is life after blindness, and therefore you should continue living as near life as possible. True enough, there are certain things that you would not be able to do, like drive a car yet, but there are things that you can continue to do. Even in the workplace, with retraining, retooling, you can continue to function, as we've seen several persons do over the last couple of years. Imagine we now have a policeman who is blind and who is well known to many, but he don't go on the field, but he does a lot of desk work because when he got blind, he didn't sit down and moan and groan and say, "Boy, I'm blind. This is the end of the world." He decided to be retooled, retrained, and to continue playing a vital role within not only the police service, his community, and to his family. He has a wife and three lovely children, and it just goes to show that once you have family support, it helps significantly. Some of us, when we have a spouse or someone who becomes disabled, we get withdrawn. We feel that, that person is no longer used to us. And we make all kinds of excuses. But, the wedding vows tell us, DK, till death do us part, in sickness and in health, and for better or for worse. Whatever they say. So that we want to ensure that families stay together, play together, pray together. And this is why the adjustment to blindness programs and training that we offer are crucial. But we don't charge the clients anything for it. This is why fundraising is very, very important.
And thanks, you. And in terms of that adjustment to blindness services, knowing that the program it seeks to enhance the opportunities to facilitate the acquisition of independence for persons with visual impairment, and this is through the execution of community-based services, and this is communication skills, social skills, daily living skills. You just spoke about throwing down in the kitchen and recreational skills and vocational guidelines, but how much of that includes persons around this person who is transitioning into blindness or less
Well,
eyesight
the
than health?
immediate.
Because you just spoke about in sickness and in health. Sometimes it feels as though the problem could be a little less with the person who has that impaired visual ability versus the person around them. This might be in the house or at work. So how much does that transition program take others into consideration?
Yes, we offer counseling to family members, to people who care for these individuals, so that they could be better able to have a better mindset in dealing with situations and in overcoming situations. Because, too many of us give up too easily. But family support and family counseling is also a part of the whole network of things. Also,
And
if that person was a breadwinner and he may now have to look for a different kind of assistance, whether it be from social welfare, whatever, we assist the person. We get the forms. We do some of the people, help them do paperwork, escort them to the location, etc. So all of that is encompassed in the broad scheme of things.
And looking at the fact that you don't necessarily just look at an individual, but look at the community around them, it kind of ties into the community support group that you would have in place to bring persons together every month.
Yes,
So
that
speak
is
to
that
that
is
a little
also
bit,
very
thanks.
important. Now, apart from that, DK, if you learn to do something in and around your home, whether to walk from the home to the shop to the grocery, that is very important so that you can get up and get something done. But if you go somewhere where they just train you, or you go away, for example, they train you in Miami. But when you come back to Trinidad, the Miami training will be, you will learn the basic techniques, the proper techniques, yes, but you may not learn your environment because the environment in Miami is different from the environment in Trinidad. The environment in Miami might have good pavements, well laid out structures. In Trinidad, you have to navigate between a pothole and seeing whether the drain is close enough or feeling whether the drain is close enough. So the environment is totally different. So this is why we believe in the community-based type program. And when people see you as a visually impaired person walking out within the community, they will say, "Oh yes, I feel I could help this person, or I could support this person." One of the drawbacks, DK, is that many persons withdraw. You have many friends when you have plenty money, or you have sight, or all of these things. You have things going for you. But when you fall into situations that you didn't put place upon yourself in most regards and respects, your friends tend to disappear. You have to sometimes stand alone, you know. But when people see you within the community, and you have to learn to say, well, look, I am now visually impaired. I prepare to accept it and move on, and just don't lock yourself in a room or a house and don't come out, because it does not help you in any way. It hinders you, and it causes you to grieve a little more.
And with that in mind, one of the things I want us to speak about is the Trinidad and Tobago Disabilities Bill, but we will speak to that after we come back from the break. We are speaking with the first Vice President of the Persons Associated with Visual Impairment, Bhawani Persad. Stay with us. We'll return after this. Welcome back. We are speaking with First Vice President of PAVI, Bhawani Persad. And just before we go back into some of the programs and activities under the remit of PAVI, your thoughts on the TNT Disabilities Bill? I know that there will be, well, there's some conferences that are happening right now with regard to the law and how it is people treat with those. But what are your thoughts on the bill at this point in time, Mr. Persad?
I think it's a positive move. It's a positive move, and it's necessary, because we could have the world of policies, but if we don't have the law and the enforcement of the law, these policies could be nothing. In fact, we had two national policies thus far on persons with disabilities. The first one was done in 2005, and coming out of that evaluation, there was some tweaking done in 2018. But the Disability Act is, going to kind of cement and ensure that persons with disabilities take their rightful place in our society. And we follow suit on a number of countries within the regions who already have proclaimed disability acts, like Guyana, Jamaica, Barbados, Antigua, and a couple others. And interestingly enough, a lot of this recommendation that will go into the Disabilities Act hinges on what came out of the United Nations Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities. As listeners and viewers may know, the United Nations Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities was developed in early 2000s. It was ratified by, it was approved by Trinidad, signed on to by Trinidad and Tobago in 2007, ratified in 2015. And, while some time has elapsed, and, some people might say we lost ground, but we always have room to make up. So we are taking it one step further, thanks to the Ministry of Social Development and Family Services, to have in place, sooner than later, a Disability Act for Trinidad and Tobago. It is a quite expansive document, and there have been, as you quite rightly said, consultations on it. In fact, PAVI was the leader in that back in July. Only earlier this week or recently, the Blind Welfare had a similar consultation. I know the Law Association is also getting in on the act from a lawyer's perspective, and they have two public consultations, one on the 25th at Naparima Girls College in San Fernando, and the other on the 2nd of December at Hillview College, all from 2 to 5 p.m. So if you didn't get a chance to be in one of the other consultations, then you have the opportunity to go face to face at these two venues and look at the regulations, the laws that are proposed to be implemented after accenting and proclamation and all of that, that will have a positive impact on the lives of persons with disabilities.
And nothing else, Mr. Persad, you have a mind like a steel trap, but you work for that. But we spoke with Jackie Lioto recently, and she was talking about the importance of having laws to stand on. Because sometimes if you don't have the law, it's almost as though you hoping that you interact with a person who has a nice disposition and they help facilitate certain things. But in the 3 minutes that we have, we want you to speak to we're wrapping up, but we're also asking about that information again. On the 3rd, what are some of those things or some of the other things that you may not have mentioned that PAVI facilitates, that fundraising on the 3rd of December will go towards offsetting or helping to address?
We have an office to run. We do not at this time get any government subvention. So we have to depend on fundraising initiatives to run our office, to run our operations. And we also try as far as possible to provide the adjustment to blindness training, because without that, people cannot perform. So those are the two major things that we are into right now. We also into advocacy, education, awareness. We share, thanks to technology, we can now share a lot of information on blindness and coping with blindness using groups like WhatsApp and the like. So there are things that we continue to do on a daily basis that it will ensure that blind persons receive a lot of information so that they could make use of the information that is being shared. And of course, all of this takes money because, sometimes you have to travel, sometimes you have to organize things, and get the job done. So this fundraiser is one of the many we have implemented over the last couple of years after COVID, because remember that COVID did damage to the entire world. So after COVID, in 2023, earlier this year, we had a virtual bingo, we had a boat ride, all of these things. So we intend to continue with that. We intend to continue with writing project-oriented activities so that we can get big grant donors and grant funding agencies to get involved in our work so that we can offer more training, more opportunities, more avenues for blind and visually impaired persons, and also our fundraising initiatives, which is not open just to the blind and visually impaired community. And let me stress, it is open to all and sundry. When people hear about fundraising activities by an organization of and for persons with disability, well, we're going to give them the money and we among to go, but they don't know what they are missing. They are missing good entertainment, good food, good everything. So come and count yourself in. Disability has no way of forewarning you, except you're very careless and don't take care of your health, that it coming. It can happen at any time through accidents, injuries, and that kind of thing. And of course, we have a lot of comorbidities these days. What do you call them? Non-communicable diseases that affect the body, that affect limbs. So we all are in this together. Let's work to help each other, and helping PAVI will help us to initiate some of the programs and plans we have for the blind and visually impaired community, and by extension, our colleagues, not just here in Trinidad and Tobago, across the region and across the world.
Thank you so much, Mr. Bhawani Persad, Vice President of PAVI. Remember, it's PAVI through the years, 28 years and counting. It starts at 11 on the 3rd of December, $450 for a single ticket. And if it's a table of 8, you're getting a $200 discount. Helter Skelter, if Marilyn Williams is sing Ribbons, is it Christmas? That's a question we need to ask ourselves.
No, you must sing that, boy. That is the national anthem for Christmas.
No, careful when you start to talk about national anthem now, Mr.
Yes,
Persad.
yes.
But
I rewind. That's the Christmas anthem.
Much.
That's the Christmas anthem.
And on behalf of the entire TTT News team, I'm Dike Rostant. This has been In Depth with me. Thank you so much for joining us.